Now, I honestly saw this one. I saw this picture. I thought it was a joke. I really did. But unfortunately, it's not a joke. So, Rise of the Tomb Raider, which was a timed Microsoft Xbox One exclusive, came out. Was it this year or was it last? I think it was December. Last December it came out for Xbox One, I want to say.
I think so.
This is the sequel to the reboot, just called Tomb Raider, which came out in 2013, I want to say. Sounds right. For the last gen. And this was kind of an issue when they released this timed exclusive being on Xbox One, but the timed exclusive time is at an end, as it were. And they recently this week they announced that the PlayStation 4 version of Rise of the Tomb Raider is going to be October 11th, and it's going to have a whole bunch of content based around the series' 20th anniversary, which sounds good. And they released a picture of the box art. And the box art looks so much like the box art from Uncharted: The Nathan Drake Collection. It's undeniable. It's basically the Uncharted, and I have the image up here. You can see it. This is not a joke. This is the actual box art for Rise of the Tomb Raider with the Uncharted box art on the right. You have the same opaque color scheme. They went with a blue instead of a sandy color. And then you have certain aspects of Lara that are highlighted, but most of her is in shadow. And then everything else is basically a silhouette. It's kind of funny because I think it was a couple weeks ago we talked about how, Uncharted 4 was actually guilty of, or the developers were guilty of taking some concept art from Assassin's Creed Black Flag and using it in one scene of the game, and that came out in a trailer, but now they're getting stuff stolen from them. And I'm just like, I see this stuff, and it's like, guys, you can't. Come on. Like, everyone is going to notice this. It's not like you're ripping off some, indie developer's idea, or you're ripping off some obscure game out there. You went for something that came out less than a year ago, still fresh in everyone's minds, and you don't think we're not going to see that? I need to calm down, though. You go ahead.
That's hilarious. Yeah, no, you're right. Like there's no the difference is the title of the game and one's a guy, one's a girl.
Yep.
And then I think they tried to make it because for the Uncharted one, it looks like it's just Nathan Drake with a more like kind of like sandstone texture as his like silhouette, and then like some parts are white, and then like the facial features that are shown. And then for Tomb Raider, it's like they went for ice.
Yeah,
It's like
one is sand, one is ice. Looks like it was done by the same exact person.
yeah, like if I was the concept artist and the graphic designer for Uncharted, the Nathan Drake collection, like I'd be upset because I see people as a fellow graphic designer, if I saw someone had just completely copied my art and just like used their own IP, is literally the exact same thing, just a different character. And I mean, instead of just having like a completely white or completely blue background, they threw like kind of like an ice background. I'd still be upset. Like that's clearly what I did, but tweaked a little bit just so that it looks like their game.
Yeah.
Like,
And the thing is I love the box art of that Uncharted collection. I thought it basically, sums up the series. if you don't know anything about Nathan Drake, you can learn a lot about him, most about him, just by looking at that image, and that's how you express, or convey an idea with just something like the cover art. And whoever did this for Rise of the Tomb Raider, I think they should lose their job for it.
Yeah, like that's you can't do that as an artist. You can't take someone else's art, tweak it just a little bit, just to say that it's yours and claim that it's your own, and then just throw it out. Be like, "Yep, this is my original design, completely mine, no one else's."
Yeah.
And they're like, "Okay, well then what's this? This came out before that. What's that about?" I'm like, um, like, okay, yeah, get out of here. Like, if I had done that in a class, I'd have gotten an F. I would have
Yeah.
completely gotten an F. That's plagiarism
Yes.
at its finest.
There's no other word for it. There's no dressing it up or trying to say it just coincidentally looks so much like the other piece of art. It's not. And by the way, earlier when I said, oh, it's not even an obscure game, I'm not saying like that would make it any better.
Oh no.
I'm simply saying like if you're trying to rip something off and get away with it, don't pick something that has released within the last year that was a game that most people were aware of, especially the PlayStation 4 group.
Yeah. Although you probably won't like me saying this, I actually like the Rise of the Tomb Raider one better.
Well, with that, I mean, what I like about the Uncharted one a little bit better is the texture actually going through the dark part of Nathan Drake's silhouette actually has like textures to it, whereas Laura's it's just plain. I don't know if you see what I mean there, but it's a little bit faded.
Yeah, like
in some places.
Yeah, I see what you mean. The Uncharted one,
hers is a more
texture,
stark, color.
There's a texture to it. Like it's kind of keeping with the theme of like everything. Like everything looks very dry, which isn't a bad thing. That's what they're going for, and they did a great job. With Tomb Raider, it's kind of like
she's surrounded by ice too.
Yeah, that's actually what I like about it.
Yeah, it's a good design.
If this had been the first, like if the Uncharted collection had been something completely different, this is great. Like I love the look of both of these. They look fantastic. But
if both games were developed by the same developer, I'd be like, yeah, I don't have a problem with that.
It'd be like that's their way of doing things. Like
yeah.
They both look like special edition copies.
Mm-hmm.
But the fact that they're two separate companies, one came out way before the other, and someone's trying to like play this off like this is mine. See, like the Uncharted one, it's blank. Mine, ice.
Yeah.
Totally original.
And I plan on getting this for PS4. In fact, when I get it, I am going to show the two box arts right next to each other, unless they change it. But it's coming out in October. I doubt they have enough time to change it. Although I have seen some alternate box art mock-ups done. So
changing the box art, I imagine, won't be hard. I imagine the hardest thing would be printing and putting them in all the cases.
Right.
That would be the difficult part.
They're probably in the midst of manufacturing these as we speak. So
yeah, I think the funniest part about this is the creative director of Naughty Dog. He sent out a tweet with both images side by side and saying, first Melina Trump and now this, with like a winky smiley face. I love that. And then under that, it's a ellipsis and then excited to play Rise on my PS4.
Yeah, it's like, oh, by the way, I do want to play the game.
Yeah, I like that he acknowledges it. He could have totally been rude. He could have totally called them out on it and just been like, what is this? You guys are a bunch of copycats. And I like it when people just like have fun with things. Like, I don't know, I feel like some people take some things too seriously, and sometimes there's a like sometimes it's the right time and the right like reason to take something too seriously and just be like, this is wrong, you need to change it. And sometimes it's just like, I mean, doesn't matter.
Yeah.
Which there are some things that matter about this, but in the long run, they're both collector's editions. People can argue that a lot of collector's editions or a lot of just like special edition games, they just have something unique about them, and these two like they have enough uniquenesses about like each of them that it's okay.
I'd still fire the person responsible.
Yeah, it's it's plagiarism, stretching it, but it's still plagiarism.
Yeah.